You notice her devotion looks perfect until you feel the tremor under it. The smile is steady, the message is constant, the check-ins almost hourly, yet something in the room quivers like a glass set too close to the ledge. Under certain incentives, loyalty becomes a shelter built by dread. In Kierkegaard on love, anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. When possibilities widen, some people grip the nearest rail and call it commitment. You sense the bargain, endless reassurance traded for peace. You mistake being chosen for being understood. In the mirror you see it, affection offered like a life raft, thrown not because you are seen, but because the open sea is terrifying. Need masquerades as devotion, and your calm becomes the shore she refuses to leave. Jung projection explains the rest. Disowned panic lands on you and demands proof on the hour. The more you answer, the more the abyss opens, as if your presence must fill a bottomless room. You perform steadiness, she performs certainty. Both of you wear quiet masks. In the attention economy, constant contact passes for safety, yet corrodes desire and warps dynamics. You forget masculine sovereignty and, instead of setting boundaries, you donate time like air to a fire. To understand loyalty that shakes, you must separate devotion born of choice from devotion born of fear. You build clarity by choosing, not clinging. That is Kierkegaard's demand. In his vision, the self becomes itself through an inward, earnest yes that outlasts mood and noise. When possibilities multiply and dizziness rises, love is dignified only when you will it, not when panic forces your hand. You stop treating novelty as evidence and trade the aesthetic rush for ethical steadiness. Think chess. The board rewards structure, not fireworks. Your king survives by patient squares, not lunges. In that lens, Kierkegaard on love becomes a test. Are your eyes free, or is it a shield against anxiety? Jung enters for one precision cut. Individuation reduces projection-driven bonds. When you integrate what you have disowned, you stop hiring partners to carry it. Boundaries become protocols, not pleadings, and masculine sovereignty reads as quiet order instead of spectacle. In dating dynamics shaped by the attention economy, you treat reassurance as a tempting drug and refuse it as a rule. You mistake being pursued for being understood. You correct it by schedule, pace, and standards. You move as a forge, not a flame, heat with form, not flare. Nietzsche adds the final edge. Values are built by disciplined yes and decisive no. You set the terms that let desire breathe without panic, and you measure love by chosen duty rather than optics. This is fear versus love. In practice, with the frame set, watch how fear recruits projection and leverage to counterfeit intimacy. Need can dress itself as devotion. Jung projection stitches the costume. Disowned panic lands on you and insists your steadiness must cure it. You are cast as anchor, therapist, and proof machine. The more you comply, the more the role hardens. In dating dynamics, signals become currency. Read receipts, story views, location pings, each a demand for tribute. You mistake responsiveness for love and train the panic to return. Courtly love once made identity depend on the other. Victorian propriety turned public appearance into leverage. The script persists when your attention is negotiated like taxes. Kierkegaard on love exposes the deeper mechanism. When anxiety swells, some people chase guarantees rather than truth. Devotion becomes a safety plan, not a free yes. You feel it as urgency about pacing, labels, and constant contact, framed as care. Boundaries are treated as insults. Your schedule is cross-examined like evidence. You try to comfort harder and become complicit in the counterfeit. Under these incentives, attachment patterns lock the loop. Anxious seeks certainty, avoidant retreats, both reinforcing the cycle while desire things. You mistake peace for silence. You need standards and pacing. Lacan desire provides the clincher. Attraction often lacks circles, so manufactured scarcity can impersonate chemistry. Public couple posts, dramatic ultimatums, and staged distance create a theater of importance, yet hunger rises rather than rests. Leverage is not love, and masculine sovereignty refuses to bargain for oxygen. Integration restores scale. You stop funding rehearsals on a stage that rewards crisis. In the attention economy, signals are currency, but meaning is cost. You set boundaries, slow replies, and end performative tests with clean exits. Step out of the script. Your role only continues if you agree to act. You say yes without noticing the price tag. You reply instantly, clear evenings, and soothe every tremor as if calm were a service you owe. That is consent to the cage. In Kierkegaard on love, despair is misrelation to self. Alignment returns when you choose rather than appease. You are not trapped, you volunteer. You mistake being needed for being known. Take back decisions at the root. Set the rhythm, protect the hours, and accept that some people prefer panic to patience. When you underprice time, anxiety learns that access is endless and expands to fit the container. You want a higher yes, so you must say no on schedule. Nietzsche's edge is practical. Refuse breadcrumb reassurance. Refuse emergency timelines. Refuse trials disguised as care. In dating dynamics, boundaries are not speeches, they are clocks, calendars, and costs. Limit reply windows and date cadence, not to punish, but to keep choice honest. Masculine sovereignty is cadence, not performance. You mistake being agreeable for being strong. You correct it by pace. Machiavelli reminds you that terms and incentives shape behavior. If time is free, it will be spent. If presence is constant, it will be taxed. Build a throne, then guard the staircase. Limited access, deliberate cadence, real consequences. Let the forge heat your standards until they ring when struck. You do not argue with tests. You end them with action. Choose selection by deselection and accept smaller circles for a cleaner life. Once you take back consent, you must separate what draws women in from what quietly kills desire. Gravity attracts, grip repels. Presence is gravity, the quiet field around a life ordered by standards, mission, and time. Control is grip, the anxious squeeze that tries to trap what should approach freely. In Kierkegaard on love, freedom is not optional. Love collapses when it becomes a safety plan. You think reassurance proves care. It proves panic. Space feeds fire. You walk into a room and hold it by stillness, not saturation. Mystery is not a trick. It is the natural halo of a man with direction. When you accept that desire needs oxygen, you stop sealing the glass over the candle. You mistake being busy together for being bonded. You correct it by pace, silence, and clean intervals. Jung reframes magnetism as integration. Individuation stacks calm into your bones. The nervous task loses gravity. In dating dynamics, micro-availability murders mystery, while calendar discipline and craft produce slow burn. Think chess. Strong positions win without chasing every shiny pawn. Guild masters were desired for excellence, not clamor. Chivalry codes blended ferocity with restraint. You stop performing proof and return to masculine sovereignty terms, cadence, and consistent warmth within limits. Public couple branding often signals insecurity. Private steadiness builds trust. You mistake constant updates for intimacy. You replace them with reliability and texture. Keep your mirror clean. No games, no martyrdom, just proportion time to work, time to love, time to be alone. Desire survives inside form. To live this paradox, you must endure the descent costs that refine you. You will be tested where no one claps. Standards look clean in daylight. The price posts after hours. You skip the party, keep the early alarm, and walk to the gym through quiet streets, while the group chat treats your absence as comedy. In Kierkegaard on Love, becoming yourself invites misunderstanding. The knight of faith walks without parade. When you refuse panic pacing, some people read distance as arrogance. You mistake the hush for rejection. It is the forge doing its slow, necessary work. The ledge is real, less validation, fewer invites, long evenings that echo. You think you are losing ground. You are pouring a foundation. Speak softly, show up, and keep your calendar honest. Standards are expensive because they purchase freedom from performing. Nietzsche frames the rest. Become who you are, not who the timeline rewards. Off-season athletes build base strength where cameras don't reach. Patient craftsmen keep hours that look antisocial and turn into excellence. You learn to hold shape under optics. In dating dynamics, scarcity signaling will be misread. Keep cadence anyway, with ruthless patience. You mistake being seen for being significant. You correct it with craft, sleep, and a mission calendar. The attention economy auctions your focus. You guard it with boundaries, selection, and limited access. Mockery is the fee. Resilience is the interest it pays. Keep breath, posture, and money orderly. Let solitude thicken your voice until presence feels like gravity, not grip. Accept winters. Desire respects form, and form demands distance, rhythm, and restraint. If you pay the price, you earn the stance. Establish your throne by schedule before sentiment. Jung's lens is practical. Individuation reduces projection, so you stop outsourcing steadiness to partners and build it into your day. Lock a mission calendar with 3 immovable blocks: craft, body, study. Protect start times like borders. Do not negotiate alarms. You mistake busyness for momentum. You correct it with cadence. In dating dynamics, masculine sovereignty begins with time discipline. Fixed work, windows, fixed training, fixed rest. Let invitations fit your structure or pass. A clean no guards a higher yes. Choose duty on purpose. Kierkegaard on Love teaches that commitment is a willed yes, not an anxious performance. Set protocols. Response windows instead of constant chat. Weekly planning, overactive flurries. Date cadence that matches reality, not panic. Pace intimacy. No accelerates after conflict. No midnight marathons. No promises under adrenaline. You mistake reassurance for leadership. You correct it by creating form. State boundaries once. Tie them to action. Keep tone calm. Make terms credible. Machiavelli would say, incentives govern behavior, so set them. Exit policy. If fear-based loops persist after a clear standard, pause, contact, and resume with calm conduct. Leverage is options, not threats. Friends, craft, sleep, money. Think chess, win by position, not pursuit. Reduce exposure to the attention economy. Use do not disturb. With posture settled, treat selection as dignity. You mistake availability for devotion. You correct it by scarcity of attention and abundance of presence. With stance formed, reframe women not as tests, but as partners who can choose the same freedom. Drop the romance script and meet a person. Women are not tests, saviors, or scenery. They are agents with fears, duties, and hopes like yours. In Kierkegaard on Love, commitment has dignity only when it is chosen inwardly, not staged for approval. You stop rescuing and start aligning. You ask for mutual terms, pace, privacy, and honest calendars. You treat boundaries as care because they protect freedom on both sides. In modern dating dynamics, algorithms intensify insecurity. You answer with steadiness. You mistake being dramatic for being deep. You correct it with presence. Hold a mirror to yourself, so projection thins before it distorts the bond. Jung would add this: integrate animal, so you stop idealizing and punishing a woman for carrying your unloved moods. Individuation lets you see her clearly human, not hazy. Safety grows from consistency. Attachment science has shown that reliable contact calms nervous systems. You mistake performance for protection. You replace it with daily routines, check-ins, and time kept for craft. Masculine sovereignty shows warmth with limits, not control. Two forges side by side, each tending heat without stealing fuel. Selection becomes mutual, not tactical. Speak plainly, reward character, and exit cleanly when terms are refused. Now, name a mission worthy of the discipline you demand. You stand before the day like a craftsman before the forge. Choose your vow, not a promise to impress, but a structure to inhabit. Mission first. 3 immovable blocks: build, train, study. Protect them as borders, because presence grows inside form. Kierkegaard on love reminds you that becoming yourself is a task. The vow is not noise, it is inward ascent renewed with action. You mistake momentum for meaning. You correct it by plans that survive mood and optics. Set terms that dignify desire. Boundaries are gates, not walls. Selection by deselection. Say no to anything that weakens cadence, yes to what compounds skill. In dating dynamics, respect follows reliability, not performance. Carry masculine sovereignty quietly, money squared away, rest guarded, calendar honest. Let individuation continue in the background like a low fire, reducing projection before it distorts the bond. You mistake being seen for being chosen. You choose to be worthy whether or not you are watched. Living like a throne must be earned daily. Accept audits, sleep, nutrition, training, craft, friends who tell you the unvarnished truth. Refuse the attention economy's siren of constant display. Presence beats display. When fear versus love splits the path, take the road that demands effort and gives freedom. Put tomorrow on paper tonight, lay the blade across it, and wake to work. Choose, act, review, repeat. Let results speak while you build quietly. Love that you choose inwardly endures when the crowd goes silent. Anxiety is the signal to decide who you are before you promise yourself to anyone. Despair is forgetting your task. Freedom is remembering it and acting.